Hello. In this video, I'm going to talk about my two favorite words, soulful and sovereign. I change a lot and my favorite words change, but these days I'm in deep communion with these two words. And it's not about the words, it's about the energetics behind them, the qualities that they point to. So this video is especially for you if you are a woman who considers herself really soulful, who cares about her unique essence, her soul, who's exploring the depths of herself, and who is on the path of growing sovereignty. This topic is so rich and it's so vast that not sure how to enter into it in my sharing, but I decided I would just go into one direction today and some other direction on another day. That's how I also operate, without like maybe so much overview, but going into certain pieces of puzzle and then the whole picture emerges. So I want to talk about an aspect of sovereignty that is about our inner sovereign, our freedom from being the victim of our own wounds without rejecting the part of us that is wounded, but by loving it. So I think like giving an example could work. And by the way, this theme of choosing between responding from the wounded self or responding from the sovereign is very alive and very present in my own life and in my conversations with my coaching clients. I'm a psychologist and a coach. I work primarily with women. And this is like one of the most potent and most empowering conversations and explorations of the sovereign choice. And also like this quality, soul and sovereignty, they intertwine and are in service of each other. So let's jump to our example to bring it into earth and our everyday life. So let's say that it's your intention to be sovereign, to really be able to make choices that are really deeply aligned with your true self, with your true values, with the qualities that you cherish and hold really valuable. And if you are a human being living on this planet, you also have wounds. You have these parts of self that remember how it is to feel rejected or not met, not seen, not cherished, not loved or abandoned, not respected. You have all these little parts of self too that in some situations they get activated. So let's say that you have a beautiful, genuine desire or a need, and you shared it with someone in the hopes that they will meet you, that they will see the beauty of your desire, and that in their open-heartedness and generosity, they will respond and give you what you need. So you shared it. And the other person didn't respond in the way that you wanted or needed. Perhaps they responded from their wounded self, from their sense of fear, lack, scarcity, contraction, not with open generosity, but with kind of closed heart and fear. And in such moments, you might be feeling really, really hurt and really tender. It's quite likely that in such situation, the wound itself, it's really activated and comes to the forefront of your experience. And perhaps you feel hurt, maybe not loved, maybe some stories of not deserving love, not deserving to have what you need, or not being worthy, or just being not understood by people, by life, by others, or not important enough, not loved enough. All those stories and those feelings might be just circling in your system and coloring your experience of that moment. And it's you have every right to feel this way. And I'm not suggesting even for a second that you should put down those feelings and thoughts or make yourself wrong for them. No, they are. And they come to you to be loved. So I will describe now what it would look like not to be sovereign in that situation. And then what would it look like to be sovereign, to respond in a sovereign way. So not being sovereign would mean that you just sink deeper and deeper into the wound without having also a consciousness that is holding or witnessing this wound. Just your entire consciousness gets absorbed in that wounded story and wounded self of self. And you feel like victimized by it and hurting, and oh my God, that like life doesn't support me, people don't understand or love me enough, I cannot get what I need, something like that. And you are just lost in it. Another way that can go in parallel with it, or like you can move from victimized consciousness to the other way, it would be to blame the other person and to really see them as a villain, as the bad. And you can have like your own story about it, immature, bad, not caring, selfish, violent, other. And you see them this way and you just make it about them being like wrong. And this can feel like on some level, it can feel like a bit better than feeling really, really hurt when you just channel this either anger or contempt towards the other person. And that's not a sovereign choice either. You're just in the response from the wounded self, either by feeling a victim or by blaming the other person, or by kind of a mix of these two. That's the most common. And I know this place so well. That's why I talk about it. I know how it feels, how it is to be in these kind of reactions. And then their nature is that you get stuck in them. So let's now move to the sovereign choice in such situation. What it looks like from my perspective of a soulful woman, a woman who is in touch with her deep values. And for me, one of my deepest values is love. So my sovereign choice would be to see myself and the other person, the situation, through the eyes, through the loving eyes. That's my sovereign choice. So what it would look like? First of all, it would be witnessing and giving like lots of compassion to the wounded self, like not making all those feelings and thoughts wrong, but rather like, yes, I understand you that you're feeling this way. Kind of giving this message to ourselves in words, in the quality of consciousness, in loving touch, or in any way that feels good. That the message is, yes, I understand you. You have the right to feel this way. I get it. You're not wrong for feeling this way. And being with those feelings for as long as you need to. Maybe you need to be alone, cry, comfort yourself, talk to yourself, talk to someone else. It's all very, very, very good and needed. And then the other, more difficult for some people, aspect of the sovereign choice, it would be to see the blame also with understanding, compassion, and love, and not buy into that story that that person is just wrong and bad and selfish. But also, after you've allowed those thoughts and feelings to just be, you can choose if this is your sovereign choice. From the depths of your soul, see them through loving eyes for what it is. And very often it will be that they are acting from their wounded self, pain body, like consciousness of fear or limitation or lack. And just looking at them with compassion. And if this is important person to you, if you value your connection, you can choose also. I'm giving examples, but what you choose, it will be informed by your soul, by your values. So for me, it would be like holding also the vision of that person's goodness, knowing that it is there, without denying my truth that I didn't feel met in this situation by your response. It didn't feel good to me. And I'm not making you wrong. I can see where it comes from. I can see that, for instance, you're trying to protect yourself or protect us. And deep in my heart, I know that more is possible for you. And I'm not making you wrong for being in your journey where you are. I'm not rushing you to get further quickly. And I sense that more is possible for you. So we can choose. Hold the other person with respect, with compassion, and with like higher vision for them, if this is true for us. And hold ourselves with love, and also not being defined, not identifying with that wounded self story, like allowing it to be, yes, feel it, and choose from the place that knows that you are worthy, that you totally deserve to have your needs met, that life has your back, that it might all happen not in the ways that you expect, but knowing that you are not like this hurting, helpless self, but you are also a sovereign, potent being that is living in congruency with her, with the values and qualities of her soul, and knowing and trusting in this path. So this is for me how the sovereign and soul kind of go together as companions, and the stronger the sovereignty, the more of the soul can be expressed, and the more in touch you are with the qualities of your soul, the more they inform your sovereignty and your choices. So the stronger one, the stronger the other. They go together. I'm coming into completion in this transmission. And I'm inviting you to feel into soulful and sovereign. Sovereign primarily from the stories that you have within yourself that don't serve you. This is the foundation. We often think of sovereignty like in terms of external circumstances, being sovereign from other influences. And it always starts with the inner sovereignty, with loving the wounded parts and not being defined by them, but being in touch with the part of us that is in contact with the deepest soul and capable of free choices. Let me know if it resonated. If you desire some clarification or have a specific questions or examples, or if you'd like me to expand on anything, please do let me know. I will be delightful to receive your feedback. Okay, have a beautiful day filled with what delights your soul.